Well, this is rather awkward. Nothing on my knee right now, but I strained it to a yoga pose. Purely my own fault, I wasn't following anybody. Technically I just went to the doctors and now about 1 AM is when we're going to go to the hospital, get an MRI, see where to go from there. Also, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello.
I think it was run away.
He'll join you.
Hey, with me. Good luck.
Oh!
No! I
Rebel in the making.
absolutely.
Right, hey guys, sorry for any and all environmental sounds. Just got some of the car lights on my dad's car. Mum just quickly went into the shops to go and grab some burger buns because I'm craving burgers. To thoroughly explain what the hell happened with my knee, I was in the middle of doing a yoga posture, specifically well, I was technically in the middle of a middle forward fold. I was reaching my right arm to my left leg for an even deeper stretch, and you know, I was a little bit smushed up against my leg, but I think I couldn't handle. Apart from then, when I came to readjust back to the middle again, just to neutralize my spine and the like, I then started shifting my way back into the right side pyramid pose, but my left heel had slipped out, which it was meant to do that anyway when you come into pyramid pose. However, I did not have my kneecap locked as much as I thought I did, much less with a appropriate enough bend. So having discovered the hard way, I wasn't locked up enough, so it definitely felt like my kneecap went one way and most of the muscles went in two opposite directions, above and beyond my kneecap. I did manage to fall onto my butt in a safe landing zone of the body, so my left leg ended up bent and my right leg stayed straight. So I wasn't in a like searing amount of pain, it was just more of a tweak and a shock to my knee, and because this is the first ever knee injury I've ever had, my instant thought was, damn, now I'm like my mum. Because my mother, what was I blush? I don't know. My mother has had 3 knee surgeries on the same damn knee. My dad has also had knee surgeries on just his singular knee. Anyway, so my parents have had knee surgeries, I think it's SLS or ASL or something like that. That's what the hell happened to my knee. Just today, early in the morning, about 10:30 or so, was the doctor's approval to go for an MRI. There's nothing visual on the knee that indicates, clots. In 2 working days, the scans for my knee will come in and will figure out course of treatment and recovery and rehabilitation of the knee, etc. So that is the gist of what the hell happened to my knee. I mean, I was just doing yoga on my own, listening to a bit of calming music, etc. and didn't have enough support in my knee as I learned the hard way. I mean, it will happen to anybody at any point in your yoga journey. At some point or another, you cop an injury. We'll update further Wednesday or whatever when the scans come in, and we'll get on with further updates. Adios. Endlessly icing or ricing, rest, ice, compress elevate. So far I've just been, the only times I'm hobbling around the house is just to grab technology, put it on charge, even though we're still power out. So obviously by the time this vlog is available to watch, power will come back on, most likely. So right now, my leg doesn't really hurt when I'm in a stationary position. Like when I'm just completely still, I don't feel a lot of it. When I'm hopping around, I'm very cautious of the weight on my leg. Everything's on my right leg. Shows how my right glute is going to be, nice and toned. As for changing clothes, it's quite a challenge. Usually you have to do left foot last when taking clothes off, or left foot first when taking clothes on or off. It's definitely surprising how limited to anything I am when you bung a part of your body. Of course, I discovered the hard way what I was limited to when I got the vaccine shot. The first one knocked me sideways, and of course bunging my knee in a yoga position gone semi-wrong. Sweet girl. Hello. Hello, beautiful. Hey. I've run out. Sorry about the engine, but it ain't bottom century for a week. And this is how I'm having to charge my phone these days. A generator that our neighbour loaned to us out of the blue, we didn't ask, because we've had a power outage, had some fairly strong winds, and there was enough to blow some of the trees down, mostly branches. My mother's, even though it's got my uncle's initials on it, but my mother's crutches, because she's had 3 knee surgeries. 3 times in a row she's bunged her same knee, fluid drainage. In those times, I get it, crutch, I get it. And in those times, she just ended up scoring crutches, obviously. I would have more preferred the ones that go under your armpit, but beggars can't be choosers. So knee-wise, I also don't think I ever explained this. I've actually experienced no pain, especially whilst I've been still. In fact, the more still I am, the more my knee feels like it's back to normal. But I'm back to moving again, there is some discomfort. When I'm rolling over, I have to just assist my leg, slowly anchor it over to the left side if I want to roll over to my left, slowly anchor it and use my right leg as like a support beam when I'm wanting to roll over to my right side. But there's no pain when I'm still, it's just some discomfort and insecurity discomforts when, when I'm just moving around, angling my leg a certain way. So Wednesday about 3 o'clock is going to be the MRI test results, just to figure out what even went wrong with my knee at all. It's got anything to do with the bone. You don't really break a bone when you're twisting. It's just all of the muscles got contorted, obviously. I think you only specifically break your bone when you've landed harsh on it, not so much when whether you're doing yoga or fitness or whatever the physical case was. Yeah, that makes more sense when you land harsh on your knee or get it kicked in or whatever. Yeah, that's when you will break a kneecap. But depending on how sensitive kneecaps even are, I know that they are semi-detached from the leg, hence the free movements versus the other parts of the legs. I want to say it's just probably down to muscles, tense and upset muscles. But again, the MRI test will tell what's what. Even though scans only really show bone, it doesn't really show much for muscle. I don't think muscles show up in x-ray scans or whatever. So the machinery that I was in, it's like a dome-like shape. The bed that slowly slides in. It was about waist and up, I was still outside of it, but legs and in, I was in. It did get me to listen to some music. I had a emergency button. And that's fine. My dad has been at CFA training, for whatever you call it in America, but we call it CFA, Country Fire Authority. Essentially, the fire brigade or department. Definitely feeling more muscular damage, not muscular damage, muscular distress than what it is bone related. And muscles don't show up on scans, I don't believe. When I was in a dome-ish area, it was just half my body that was still staying out. It's also plugged in or connected with like a radio system, a walkie radio system, which is spoken to a microphone, but at first just gave a thumbs up. So he just double checked on me, making sure I was doing alright, how much time he had left. They just put me onto Nova, which America doesn't have Nova, whatever America stations have, but we had Nova. So with no position, I'll just listen to whatever tracks came on. And it was about 5, maybe 10 minutes of scanning. Got me to hop out, obviously. And then I got changed. As you can see, not at the clinic, but actually when I was sitting on the couch, I just went to adjust my septum as I usually do, and this bit here felt a bit too pointy. And that's when I realised the bead had fallen off. I must not have secured it on properly, or must not have. I obviously didn't. Turns out it was still sitting nestled on my sweater. I tried to attach it back on, but I lost track of it and it got lost in the couch forever. Yes, I do have my tongue ring back in. They have you remove your jewellery, just to be on the cautious side. So I was down to nothing but underwear, socks, and the gown that they put you in. I got myself dressed in a photo booth like environment. Is technically all of yesterday explained. Cold and rainy, our satellite gets messed with from the rain. It's hot, devices overheat. I'm not really looking forward to summer, to be honest, because of the bushfires that happened last time. And we're back out again, referring to Mum and Jules.
Like one of the stories that I read, that the next morning they got up and her husband went up there. Oh, there's my hair clip. Oh, it stopped recording.
Oh, your phone stopped recording? Man, oh.
When you get phone calls, does it stop recording?
I think so. Man, oh.
It's so random, but I'm so emotional. I mean, I didn't cry when I technically strained my knee or when I fell down, but lately I've just been having post tears, reflecting back on when the weather started to heat up. Your mind over evaluates everything that's just moments that pass pretty quickly. And yet, the emotional side of it still lingers. Like I said, I didn't exactly cry on my way down to the mats when I first injured. There's a few deep breaths, a little bit shell-shocked. So between storms messing with the electricity and not being able to do much about that, to just really scheduling ourselves on when we can charge devices, using a car, using PowerPoints, switching generators on and off, then of course injuring my knee, requesting everybody. Well, this escalated quickly. Okay, so the MRI test results came in. The prognosis is tearing of the muscle that runs just alongside the right side, in my case the right side of my knee. I did tear that. I did dislocate my patella, which is the kneecap, but it dislocated it, but then it clicked back into place, which is very nice of it. So there's no surgery, there's just a little bit of fluid, and just mostly swelling, and again just wear and tear of muscles, literally. So all I have to do is just pretty much stay off my feet resting wise for about 4 weeks. As you saw by previous clip, I do have quite the dramatic looking brace around my knee, along with an ice pack underneath of it, just to obviously ice my knee. It just helps to reduce the swelling, etc. Physiotherapy wise, just walk around on it as much as I can to make sure I keep the strength in my knee. And then there's a little bends here and there just to make sure that I can really stretch out the muscles again, because obviously muscles need assistance when stretching out. And the strength test, meaning you just lift it, so say my elbow is my knee, just lift up slightly, just make sure I'm stretching and strengthening as well. To recap, I was in a forward fold, a wide-legged forward fold. I was reaching my right hand to my left ankle, which I didn't have a problem with. I was just a little bit squished up against my left leg, my upper body, but it's something that I couldn't handle. Then I just decided to, you know, return back to center as part of my upper body in forward fold. Then I went to return back to right side pyramid pose, where it's like a half split, except your hind leg is also straight. You forward fold over your whichever leg is in front. Pyramid pose, essentially. As your body looks like a shape of a pyramid. Go figure. When I was done coming into pyramid pose, I was just starting to turn on my heel, but my heel slipped out a bit too much. My left knee did not keep up, it was not locked properly, I didn't even have that much of a bend, and that's where the problem occurred. I could start to feel that my knee was over twisting. Like I said, I felt like multiple things went in multiple directions. And I did dislocate my patella, which is kneecap, but I did not do any extreme damage, nothing broke. Apparently the patella is actually very, very sensitive and can be fractured, especially because of how much the muscles contort, etc. So I actually just hurt my hand squeezing that tight. So that is the prognosis, and I think diagnosis is, you know, when you're delivering the problems to your doctor with what's going on. The prognosis is what you're going to do about your recovery. I'm pretty sure that is it. I'm off my leg just as far as any immediate fitness goes or what have you for about 4 weeks, obviously a month. Right now my knee is like cold from the ice pack because it's really smushed against my leg thanks to this brace. They really tightened up super fast because it was slipping. Okay, so that is the update. Adios. Also in other news, we got power back on. Woohoo! Okay, so pain rate wise, there really is none. No pain at all. It's like that hollow feeling, like the insecure, just a very awkward, shallow tension. Like there's a little bit of space and time between my thigh bone and shin bone, or the actual knee itself, and it rotates back and forth when you're walking and whatnot. It's like the tiniest amount of tension, like just the tiniest amount of tension. It just feels like a very tense muscle that hasn't been stretched out in a while. Like when you've done an intense workout and you're very tense and you go to move around and you can feel the tension of the muscles. That's more or less what it feels like on the very surface of the knee, well, the kneecap, the patella, but on the right side, because go forget the more of the muscle that I tore specifically. So strength wise, when I was hobbling around back and forth and then doing the bridge, the supported bridge obviously, I was anchoring a lot of my weight onto my left side, just to make sure that I can actually support myself in the bridge. There's two different strengths I was working with, obviously the walking around and the supported bridge, because a lot of the weight is focused in your heels and I was shifting my weight back and forth from the right to the left. So there isn't a single scrap of pain left over. There is that rotational tension, discomfort when I'm anchoring myself left and right when I'm rolling over in bed. Otherwise, I'm just going to be doing those rehabilitation exercises knee-wise, using the skateboard just to help maneuver myself back and forth safely, so that I can actually make sure that my foot isn't skipping along the mat or whatever. Using my yoga strap, using my yoga blocks. That's just those three items that I'm going to be using. I did obviously use my System Fitness leggings as like a rolled up piece of material, just so I could do like the flip side lunges, which I saw on Yoga with Cassandra, I believe Cassandra with a K. Brunette American, I believe. She also bunged her knee, but under different circumstances versus me. Ironically, it was yoga that twisted my knee. And contorted it. Again, my patella was dislocated, as in the kneecap was dislocated, but due to my landing structure, I actually managed to pop it back into place. So it popped itself back into place. I did tear the muscle joint that, once again, I'll toss a diagram up onto the screen. I did tear the muscle that runs along the side from the patella, and I'm just barely remembering what the doctor said because nothing against her nationality at all. For summary terms, she was Asian, plus she was speaking medically, but when she did break it down a little bit more for me and my mum to understand, she said that the muscle that runs along the right side of my knee, it seems to be shooting itself out pretty quick. I set up as much as I could. I hovered back and forth from couch to bedroom to kitchen table, because again, power's out and the only way to get anything charged was to hang around in the kitchen where the power points were and such. So anyway, the medical talk was just a little bit difficult to understand, but even when she broke it down, it's just what you can remember the doctor said. But I'm remembering the doctor said that I definitely dislocated my patella, but it popped back in place, which was nice of it. I definitely strained a lot of muscles, surrounding muscles, but mostly tore my muscle that runs alongside on the right side of my left knee side, as established. So no yoga specified in the left leg. That's going to weigh heavily on the left leg for about 4 weeks. But clearly I will obviously be doing rehabilitation exercises, duh. I will still try and squeeze some upper body workouts and maybe some glutes, because that just uses a lot of the upper part of my legs and obviously the upper part of my body, duh. So I don't really have a problem strength wise, especially as discovered walking around and in bridge, supported bridge. But obviously do not want to get overzealous and cocky. And just because I'm not feeling much now or in the moment of those exercises doesn't mean I won't feel it later on. So just ice packing a million times over, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. We're pretty much past the rising stage. I can happily walk around without the crutches, which were these things, by the way. I like the granny sticks, really. So your arm just sits in like this and you grip the handle. Turns out I didn't even need no surgeries, no needles, no fluid drainage. Because I already have pretty strong knees from all the time of doing yoga, I really didn't need anything extensive, just to take it easy, stretch it out appropriately, and obviously be very careful doing yoga and other fitness. But unfortunately it will now be easier, hypothetically speaking, for me to redislocate my patella, because once it's popped out the first time and whether or not it pops back into place again, you've officially given your knee the permission to pop out by whatever format. It just goes to show how easy, and that you might not think you're in a danger zone with your body as far as the position goes, but your body will definitely slip out and bizarre things will happen. There was no irreversible damage done. Also, yes, I slept in my clothes. So technically this is the next day from yesterday, go figure out what overnight means. So this is my whole vlog based off of, new Aiden's modern century living. Clearly by the lights on, we've got power back. We got a new puppy, Jules, a English Staffordshire. Technically by spelling it looks like it says Staffordshire, but it is pronounced Staffordshire. We did have a dog exactly like Jules years and years and years and years ago. I think I was actually about 12 years old, maybe younger, when we had Jack. Precisely the same dog, just slightly different fur texture. He's the English Staffordshire, precisely the same dog we got last time, just obviously different name and slightly different colouring fur wise. And he's the funniest little thing ever. I mean, I think we did get Jules as a puppy, but maybe like a late teenager for dog years. But definitely got Jules as an 8-week-old puppy, and he is the most adorable, chaotic, funny, comical. He is like Harley Quinn if Harley Quinn was a male dog. So this was my entire vlog based off of, again, surviving pet rage, new puppy, and my knee injury. Thank you all for watching this vlog, and I'll see you for my next few videos. Bye guys.